What's up, fellas? Panda back, and I'm back from my holidays, so yeah, content as usual, a bit more in depth. And in this one, I kind of want to talk about something that I don't even know if it'll do well in terms of a video, but I feel like I want to talk about it because it's something I've done a ton of, and you guys have probably caught me on it, even TNS, Back for Brawl, Paragon, EMA, GGST, Saltmine, you name it. I've commentated a lot for the past like 2-3 years, and I wanted to talk about that as someone who's commentated a ton of online scenes specifically, because again, there's obviously a difference between offline and online. Offline, you get paid. Online, you don't. It's more of a voluntary thing. It's a hobby. I feel like I want to make this video talk about my journey, what I did to get better at commentary, and what I'm still doing to continue getting better at commentary. The other thing I want to talk about is the scenes and ways that you can maybe use it to improve you, or maybe talking about how the community, what's my thoughts on them as I go through all the different points, and kind of the things that you need to put up with as an online commentator. Because I'll be honest with you, it's a thankless job. You're not going to get money, you're not going to get a million followers and all that type of stuff, unless you really stand out. And if you're having fun with it, then what it is. It's a hobby, right? That's the way I see it. Commentary is a hobby, and if you want to get into it, you got to be well aware of these things, right? The FGC, I'm gonna be honest, is not really a fruitful endeavor. It's a complete hobby. If you're looking at this for money, you're in the wrong place. You gotta be punk, or you've gotta be someone on that top-notch level, or you gotta be making content to a pretty solid level like Sajam. At the end of the day, you can't really make money off this, so it's more of a voluntary thing. That's one thing you need to get out of the way immediately when it comes to commentary. In total, I think I've made about like 500, so not a lot. So out of all those years, you don't make a ton, and that's okay. That's okay. It's a hobby. The first thing you get over as the main commentary hurdle is getting better with public speaking, right? Believe it or not, it's a public speaking thing, either online or offline. You need to get used to being able to hear your own voice, being able to talk to others, and kind of how you approach the mics, right? Because there's so many different ways to approach the mic. Like, Jesus Christ, I've had this discussion a million times. You can approach it with a full type of force of like, yeah, I'm gonna be the analyst guy, or oh, I'm gonna be the funny one, right? Which, if you're gonna be that, best luck to you. Or I'm gonna be the play-by-play or whatever, or I'm gonna try to do all of them. If you want to be a valuable commentator, in my opinion, be good at basically just everything. That's what I recommend. I feel like the really valued commentators are the ones that are basically good at anything. They can pick up. They don't even need to play the game that much. They don't even need to understand it that much. They're just able to get on the mic and talk about the thing they like, which is fighting games, right? I feel like the most enthusiastic commentators will do very well in this type of scene, this type of space, if you will. Well, you need to get used to working with a co-commentator. For some, that's very difficult, right? They either give too much spaces, not enough, or maybe they're not talking enough. They could be talking a lot more. And there's a lot of different energy that you need to work with as a commentator. And I even have a list of all the people I've worked with, talking about what were their strengths and weaknesses, so I can play into that a lot better. Genuinely, that's something you've got to consider. If you want to get better at commentary, if you want to have like shoot your shit, have fun in the mic, then you can kind of just like hop in, say what you want, you know what I mean? But if you want to genuinely get better, this is something you need to get used to. You need to understand chemistry among other commentators. Like, I understand me and Backpack have the best chemistry, so I don't need to go into it prepared, right? I can just go into, see the bracket, see the players, recognize some of the names, good to go, right? Whereas if I'm working with someone like Jesu, who is a go-to commentator within the anime scene, if I was to commentate with him, someone I've respected in this scene because we were involved in the tournament scene very early on, I would look towards him as like, okay, first time working with him, I know he's smart, I know he's clever, he's good at play-by-play analysis and talking about the game, so I can kind of come into this with any flavor I want, you know? It's like I can be kind of chill. Whereas if I feel like I'm working with someone with like Jonesy, who's an absolute wordsmith, by the way, jeez Louise, I'm telling you, that man is educated on the mic. He can speak so damn well. If I'm working with him, my viewpoint coming into it is like, I'm going to be a bit more of the analyst, I suppose. I'm going to be able to analyze, do a bunch of play-by-play, because they are very clever, they're very witty, and they're very funny. So like, let them play to that. Let them get those opportunities. If you want to go for a more in-depth play, then that would be the thing that I would probably recommend if I'm working with Jonesy. Again, none of this is set in stone because there's moments that happen on a commentary that is just without your control or just absolutely absurd, like Andros going for some of those ridiculous combos, had everybody popping off. It was ridiculous. Now, one of the big hurdles for me, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand this well enough, this will be applied to everything that you do in life. This is the biggest piece of advice I'm going to give you from a person, never mind commentating, just person. You need to reach out to people. If you want something, you have to ask for it. So for me, when I was a bit like 3 years ago, when I was doing commentary, I always thought like, oh, it'd be awesome if I could commentate TNS, if I could commentate like any of the big scenes. Salt Mine would be cool, and then Paragon was showing up. I was like, oh, I want to commentate that. It looks big and cool. If you want to commentate these things, you have to ask. And that was something I had an epiphany about, because I sat there one night. Yeah, this is the story. I sat there one night, lying down, relaxing, sort of chilling, and I had the realization that none of my mates were online. They didn't want to talk, right? They didn't want to talk. And I thought to myself, damn, my mates didn't want to talk to me. But then I came across the realization of my mates didn't want to talk to me. It was a case of my mates didn't know they wanted to talk to me. And that made me realize right there and then, if you want something, you have to ask. Because not everybody has the mentality of like, I'm going to reach out. You have to realize that. Like, if you're someone who had a really good commentary session on Paragon, like maybe a few weeks ago, and you were amazing on there, the only people who are going to notice you are the people that are watching that stream and the people involved in the production. They might spread your name. They might do that. King Jobber did for a couple of scenes, right? I absolutely love the fella. But that's not going to happen too often. That's a rare instance. So you need to ask for positions. For example, for me on Twitter, I asked Lucas many a times for commentary on Strive. And then I realized Twitter wasn't the place, so I went to Discord, and he said, yeah, we'd love to have you. We'll get a go. And I'll say commentating that TNS was awesome. Absolutely loved it. It was the same for Paragon Online. I noticed that was a new big fun scene popping up, and I was getting into tech and commentary. I asked him, I was like, hey, Khalil, I would love to do this, right? I'm a big fan of Strive. If I could do Strive as well, I'd get me on here. And that's what they did. And I also did the same for Reversal and Set and Reset. All those big ones for Tech and Strive when they did them. I was a big fan of those things. I love watching them. Same with Wanted. I watched so much Wanted growing up. I love Dragon Ball FighterZ. I asked for it. I got on comms. I'm now in a situation where I'm messaging a lot of the people that I used to watch growing up, thinking that were dead, cool, and awesome. I'm talking about when I was like 16, 15, watching that, going like, oh my god, these guys are so good. And now I'm commentating with them. Now I'm talking to them. Now I'm getting info from them. And that is quite a shock and journey to me. And I genuinely, every time I think about it, like, oh, I commentate, I still like go a little crazy thinking about that. Like, oh my god, I commentate one of the things I grew up watching. I used to watch Marvel all the time. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. And then it's something that, like, I think developed me as a person. Realize it got me better at public speaking, it got me better at hearing back voices, and it got me better at like genuinely reaching out and going to things that are a bit uncomfortable. Because let's be real, everything you do at first is gonna be uncomfortable until you do it. And yeah, it was genuinely an awesome thing for me, not gonna lie. Now, if you can't tell, this video is a bit more of a ramble piece, right? I want to talk about this. This is something that's always been on my mind. And one other thing that you have to be ready for when it comes to commentary is what people think of you, right? This is a common thing. A lot of people are gonna say what they think of you to your face, maybe not, and you have to accept that, right? You're gonna get people that will absolutely enjoy you, right? Like, luckily for me, when it comes to a lot of my interactions, it's mostly positive. A lot of people tend to like me on commentary, they tend to like me involved in the scene. So that does make me very happy that I'm one of the select few from EU, because EU don't get that love. I'm gonna be real, a lot of the EU lads, they commentary here, they do not get that love, and I think they absolutely deserve it. Just Dave, Mastodon, Damascus, Jonesy, C4, they deserve way more of the love. But that's something you've got to think about as well, is like culture differences, because of their accents and stuff like that, they get messed up. I've been lucky, I've been blessed with a Scottish accent, and most people like that, you know what I mean? So I'll take that. But it's very peculiar what people are going to say to you, and you need to be able to take it on the chin, right? You're doing a voluntary thing. You've got to be able to read something that you don't like and just take it in the chin. It is what it is. Take it on and have a bit of fun with it. There's going to be times where you'll ignore it. There's going to be times where it might be a little personal, and that's okay. You just got to be able to move on, hear it, and that's it. But if you think about mostly the positives compared to the negatives, you'll have 100 times better like mentality when you're doing commentary. Like one of my mates, Hockey, little shit he is, told me to my face that I wasn't a good commentator ages ago. He's a good kid. He likes to fuck about. He likes to let his opinions be known. And when I heard that, I was like, that hurt a little bit. But now I don't care. It was the same with one of my best mates, Dylan, the rival Angie I did sets with ages ago on my channel. He told me to my face that he didn't think I was a good commentator. And again, that's just their opinion on something that I do. And then because those people are close to me, you ask for thoughts, try to get better. And that was something that hurt me, but at the end of the day, it's not going to deter me from doing commentary. If anything, it's going to make me want to get better, right? Because if you view it as like, oh, maybe if I can change their thoughts on me, then just like that, you have a goal. You have something to strive upon. You can be petty about it, or you can be the Superman good boy about it and just go for it. No, it's been mental. And then you go to the offlines, and let me tell you something. Offline commentary is completely different online commentary. For example, online, you've got your own space, a comfortable area, and you don't need to get close to the mic whatsoever. The mic is where it needs to be, right? However, in offline commentary, the mic needs to be this close. You've got to be kissing that mic. About offline commentary is that your partner is right next to you. And that opens up so much if you're comfortable with that person, right? Like, I know for a fact, if me and Backpack were next to each other doing commentary, I'd be shoving him. I'd be pushing him. I might punch him. But point being, I'd have a bit of fun. Like, you could turn to him, have a conversation. And that was something I realized when I was at BSF, working with Jonesy. And I quite like that aspect. I was a big fan of that aspect, realizing that you're with other people physically makes it a lot more fun. Now, the other thing that makes offline a bit more interesting compared to online is obviously the crowd, right? When you are a commentator, you don't get to see the crowd in online, right? You see them through the chat, right? And that's it. Don't get me wrong, it's great to see a message that says, oh my god, I love Andros, or oh my god, Panda and Comms, oh my god, Panda and Jonesy, oh my god, it's King Job, like, that type of stuff. That's great, that's awesome. But you know what's better? You know what's even better than that? Is sitting in the same room of people chanting this when Happy Chaos does his super. I'm telling you, bro, having a crowd there genuinely makes it more beautiful. It makes it more real. It makes it more enjoyable. And you kind of enjoy that aspect of commentating a lot more, is that the crowd is right there. You can hear them, you can see them, you can taste them if you're weird about it. But you could, for an energy, it really is. And then when you get done with comms, you get to talk to people like, oh, it's just a commentary, oh my god. I'm hoping for VSF, if I can get on comms, that I'll have a class time and maybe get top 8, right? Who knows? It may be in my cards this year. But nothing's set in stone, is it? So we'll wait and see. And I've got to say, man, I'm looking forward to it. VSF is going to be class. And again, it's interesting to see the dynamic between offline and online commentary and how my journey's begun. Because I used to begin as a somewhat younger fella, but 20, try to figure out how to go about it. Dead shy, not too sure. I'm playing into my accent more. I don't know what to say. I'm cutting over people. I'm making dumb jokes. To the point where I am now, where it's like I feel like I'm a bit more professional. I give gaps, I wait, I get loud, I get molecular, I do play-by-play, and that's helped me. I feel like content creation's also helped me in that regard, because it's made me do more research. That research has made me leap to understand even more things. As a commentator, I feel like I've had quite a mad journey, and it's going to keep getting better from here. There's more games on the horizon, and there's more games that I've been playing and commentating, so I'm looking forward to it. Of course, there's always the community aspect, and this is my favorite thing about commentary, is looking at the YouTube for things like Battle Ball, Paragon, and obviously my own tournament, Pandemonium. It's great to see some of the love for the players and the commentators, and the sense of community and those types of aspects. Like, that's something I've really enjoyed about working on Battle Ball, right? I would consider Backpack like one of my best friends in this scene. And we tend to go tit for tat, talking back and forth about ideas within this scene, ideas that we can do to improve it. And it's fun. It's genuinely fun as a commentator to have a partner that you can talk to about getting better, because genuinely, if you both want the best for each other, it's something that's going to improve you to become like an amazing commentator. For this video, this is more of a ramble piece, more of a me talking about me type thing. And again, if you want to improve, do research into who you're commentating with, do research into the games you're commentating. That way you understand what you're talking about when you're talking about it. And do research into the scene, ask questions, who's hosting what, how can you make it more grand. And if you're hosting your own tournaments, I have to be real with you. You gotta be willing to promote the shit out of it. Now, I know what people are saying, I post it on Discord, I post it on Twitter. I mean more than that. You've got to post TikToks, you got to post YouTube videos, you got to do VODs, clips, highlights. You've got to be on it. And if you start doing that, your tournament turnout is going to be massive. You're going to end up having something like TNS one day. You never know. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are striving to have right now. Someone who's done mostly online, right? You're going to get a different perspective from me compared to C4, right? As someone who's done that, done the graveyard shifts as well, that's something you gotta be prepared for. Biggest tip when it comes to commentary: have a cup of tea. War, you need it. I mean that, you need it. That's everything I've got to say. Hope you guys liked and subscribed. That's me, Panda. I'm going to be working on my next grappler videos. I don't know what yet, but I want to talk about my personal journey. That way you guys understand, like, what's going through my head when I'm doing commentary. What's going through my mind when I'm working with what. Hope you fellas have a good one. I'm going to be peacing out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya!